Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
And we are back for episode 3 of WaveLengths with your host, Ian Luper. That is me. I am with my friends, Dilan Patel.
Yo.
And Whei Ham, back for episode 3.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back again.
Unfortunately, our friend Bashir could not be here for today's episode. He had a project to work on. So we're just going to have to move on to episode 3 without him.
Weather the storm.
Weather the storm, exactly, my man. Okay, so our first topic we are going to talk about today is the UFC event that happened last Saturday. We're going to start off with the fight between Kelvin Gastelum and Israel, the last stylebender, Adesanya. Dylan, tell me what you thought about that fight, and make sure to speak directly in the mic like these.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think it's pretty good with the whole sound and everything.
It's kind of, you have to, like, when you hear it afterwards, it's like kind of rough. So.
Anyways, I don't know. I would say, just to talk about the whole card in general, I'd feel like that card and the card with GSP was the most exciting cards I've ever watched in UFC. And even before the two main fights, the championship fights, I'd say really good cards all around, really good fights. And the Gasly fight, oh my God, I really wanted Gasly to win. You know what I mean? Dude. Everybody was the favorite for Adesanya, the last stylebender, 16-0 coming in, with that fire, but. Man, I wanted to see that Mexican, get there, but he didn't get there. He couldn't finish it off. But it was cool to watch, Everybody came in, everybody came in, and Adesanya was the favorite, and everybody wants to go behind the favorite. But I really wanted the Gasly guy to pull it through. He seemed like he won a couple of good rounds, but then he got a little gassed. And if you saw the height of Adesanya and then the reach, I mean, obviously there wasn't a lot of advantages for Gasly, so I'd say just a good fight for him, even though he lost. Just a good fight all around.
Dude, Gastelum for me totally surprised me because I only saw one fight of his before, the Bisping fight, and I thought he was really nice.
Or did he lose that one?
Yeah, he knocked Bisping out cold, dude. Cool. I mean, Bisping's already blind in one eye and kind of like. Has a disabled sticker in his car and he can't really drive legally, but he's still fighting in the UFC. Well, not anymore, but he got knocked out by Kelvin. Supposedly a nice win, but again, Bisping's half blind, so a little bit of a handicap there. Anyways, I liked Kelvin really, really a lot in that fight, but I didn't think he was going to be able to match up well with Adesanya's length, like you were saying. And he's totally surprised me when he's catching him in the first couple rounds with that right hand, dude. Like that lead jab, and he was so accurate.
It was the power jab. The power jab really got him good. It really opened up things for him in the first and second round. I saw like in the first round when he came through, when he was dictating the fight, when he was pushing forward, when he was like making things happen, trying to be like the person who was trying to, command and, dominate in the fight. He was doing really well. But when he got tired of, that takes a lot of energy. So when you get tired and you got to go on the defensive, I feel like that's where he lost it. That's where Adesanya came in and, does what he does.
I was so scared during the fight. I'm like Adesanya, as I say, is probably like my third favorite fighter, or second favorite fighter behind John Jones. And like I was super excited for the fight, but Kelvin was scaring the bejesus out of me. In those first couple rounds, dude. He was so on it. And even, like, towards the end, Adesanya turned it on that last round, and he was kicking the crap out of him. But, like, I was so nervous the entire fight just because Kelvin could catch him at any single moment.
Yeah, he has that
knock him out.
That left hand that can knock him out. And you could tell that Adesanya, like, he's more like Max Holloway, where he's more of a volume type of guy. He's going to get you in the fourth and fifth rounds, compared to Gasly. He's a knockout guy.
Yeah.
But you got to respect, everybody got the favor. You got to respect this guy Gasly came in with major confidence, you know what I mean?
I know.
He's going against an opponent who has not lost, and he's come in and he took some hard punches. You got to respect that guy's chin.
Oh, you see his face afterwards?
You got to respect that guy's chin.
Both their faces
both their faces were pretty messed up,
Their lips were like, hello, my name is Adesanya.
So I give respect to Gasly, so just because he came in and, he, even though it was the favorite, it wasn't him, he came in with that confidence. He definitely got rocked plenty of times, and he just got back up. So, good for him.
I know. Yeah, seriously. He definitely showed a lot of heart and a lot of fight. And I saw a video on Instagram afterwards, and he was just like, man, look at me. He's like, I'm messed up, but I'm going to learn. You either win or you learn. He's like, I'm going to come back stronger. He's like, get ready for that next fight. And he's like, it made me pretty hyped. I don't really like Kelvin Gastelum because after that, he was supposed to fight Robert Whittaker. And after that fight, when Robert couldn't fight because of the hernia, he was in the stands with the belt, and he was like, "Yo, I'm the champ. I'm Kelly." He had the shades on, and he was sitting all high and mighty. And I was like, "Damn, I don't like that." I was like, "This guy kind of irks me a little bit." But after the fight, and the Israel Adesanya fight, he definitely has my respect now.
All I gotta say is, man, when you're at that level, I mean, I just feel like you have to have impeccable confidence. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You gotta go out there, especially when you're everybody at that level. It all comes down to it's everybody's 99% really good, and it all comes down to that 1%, so having that confidence, maybe going out there, that's what Conor McGregor does best. He gets you in your head, he does that mental game, you know what I mean? So
all that trash talk,
all that trash talk can get into your opponent's head. So I feel that's something you just gotta do. You gotta go out there and you gotta be high and mighty. You gotta go out there and you gotta keep your
show
head
your
high.
Stuff, dude.
You gotta show your stuff. You gotta show that you're not scared. You know what I mean? You got the skills to pay the bills, and that you deserve to be number one. You deserve to be a champion. I don't know. A lot of people said that he doesn't deserve to be a champion.
I thought he might, dude. After that fight, shoot, dude, he's nice. He is so nice.
He's really nice with it. I feel like the game plan that they came up for Adesanya, because man, that guy Adesanya, he went 75-4 with kickboxing. You know what I mean? Just with kickboxing.
He's a style bender, dude. He's got some crazy stuff. This guy's whipping out backflips and doing
crazy maneuvers.
Yeah.
And if you just saw Kevin Gastelum versus Adesanya, if you just saw the discrepancy of what they look like,
the height difference,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. In the weigh-ins, Adesanya was making fun of his height. He was putting his hand down low, and he was shrunken down to meet him eye to eye. And he's just "Yo, man, whose kid is this? Why is he only 5'2"?
I mean, I think that's funny and all, but at the token, I think Adesanya is a skinny man, and he's the one that needs to. I think Kevin Gastelum looks more normal for that weight class. I think what they're 155s or whatever.
185.
Well, 185.
Yeah, middleweight.
Okay, so obviously he's pretty chunky. He's got more of a he's a pretty chunky guy. He's got some blubber on him.
But he's got good cardio for how chunky he is too. Oh, he was lasting that whole fight.
Who is the number one pound for pound fighter? John Jones' enemy. What is?
Daniel Cormier. Yeah, dude.
He's just built like Daniel Cormier, and Daniel Cormier is one of the top wrestlers in the world. And he probably has, really good cardio, but look at him. He's
dude, that is the body of the most, the pound for pound deadliest man in the world besides John Jones. That is the body, what a trained killer looks like. I wish y'all could see Daniel Cormier. He looks he's a sumo wrestler, dude.
Yeah.
Especially now.
He's thick, man. He's
thick
5'11", he's thick and brute, just like Gasly. He's thick and brute, and John I just think John Jones and Adesanya, those guys are they're like frogs. You know what I mean? They're lengthy, they're skinny, they got long arms.
Praying mantis.
Yeah, praying mantis, like Kevin Durant. They're built. Yeah. They got that mesomorphic body.
Yeah, dude. Those are the crazy athletic bodies.
Super crazy athletic types, and then Kevin Gastelum. I just respect a guy who just comes out there and he's just big and just got that big chin. You know what I mean? Big head. People talking smack about him. You know what I mean? And he just goes out there and tries. You know what I mean? I gotta respect it.
And just kicks butt, dude. I respect that too, dude. That's why I love Daniel Cormier too. Is because he represents the average American.
The dad
just came off the couch from eating the Lay's chips, watching some Avengers movies, and steps into the cage with John Jones, or not John Jones, but anybody else other than John Jones, and then kicks some butt. Yeah, dude. I love that. I love the heavyweights, dude. They're like Derek Lewis. After that
Derek
one,
Lewis, you gotta respect him. He just comes. They're characters, man.
He's after the things that they say. Derek, what'd you think? He's like, my balls are hot. He's like, oh, that's good. Thanks, Derek. I appreciate the input.
Did you see his New York interview right before the fight?
No.
Yeah, you did. Where the reporter's like, what do you eat before a fight? And he goes. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here, but if you see it, he's pretty funny. I mean, you gotta respect that they're out there just like having fun. I respect that.
I'm sure. Here, just say it for the viewers. It's a quote. So we don't have any
quote unquote.
liability.
Somebody asked Derek Lewis, what are you eating before the fight? And Derek Lewis says, quote unquote, he says, well, if my wife is home, I'm going to eat her ass. And I respect that. I respect that.
What a man. He goes on live TV's interviewed, and that's what he says.
He's like, yeah, if my wife's home, yeah, I'm going to eat her ass.
Oh, my
so
God.
funny.
Gotta love Derek Lewis. You gotta love those heavyweights. Yeah. They look like that, and they say stuff like that. Or, dude, even Stipe Miocic. Like, Stipe Miocic is a firefighter, like, full-time firefighter for the... Is it Cleveland Fire Department?
I don't know.
Stipe Miocic is a full-time firefighter.
Firefighter in America?
Yeah.
I thought he was a Russian guy.
No, Stipe is American. His parents are from like Slovenia or something, but he's first-generation American.
Just like
Yeah. But he's a full-time firefighter for the Cleveland Fire Department. So, and he's also a sponsor for Modelo.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, it's Modelo time. It's like what Don Whei would say. That is Don Whei's drink of choice, by the way. But he is 21, so listeners, don't worry, it's all right. But yeah, you gotta love those heavyweights. Those are the coolest guys. It's like the offensive linemen for football. It's like those are always the nicest dudes, but they're also like the scariest dudes because they could kill you.
I'd say they are like offensive linemen, but I mean, like they do say it in football, like Florida State. What are they good at? They're good at skill players, and offensive linemen, they're not skill players. That's just they're not their title. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think what's cool about the UFC is like you're heavyweight, but like you see John Jones, you see Daniel Cormier, and like they look completely different, but like they both have steez, like they both have style, they both are athletic, and they can both be smooth with it. You know what I mean? And that's the difference between big men and like football is they're not there to be smooth with it. They're there to be men.
Yeah,
they're there to be the men.
Brutes and push some boys around.
It's like peer push and pull. Like they're benching. You know what I mean? They're benching or they're rowing.
They
ain't
running no 40-yard dashes. They ain't running no mile.
Yeah.
But Daniel Cormier is out there running like 5Ks every day doing training for the training for UFC is so rigorous. The weight cut too, especially when Daniel Cormier was at light heavyweight and he had to cut all that weight. He was still chunky though. He's only like 5'10", so he's like 5'11", 5'10". But he was like, you would have to cut hard, diet a lot, lots of cardio, always hitting the gym. I mean, like the offensive linemen in the NFL are also doing that, but they ain't like training the cardio like these guys are doing. So that's why they can pull out all those skills. Because I bet you if Daniel Cormier was told to just like, all right, now you're going to be an offensive lineman in the NFL, like I feel like his training regimen would be a lot different and you wouldn't be like whooping out all those skills anymore.
But at the same time in the NFL, they want you to have those, like, they don't want you to be DK Metcalf, where have you heard?
Yeah,
of
dude, we're gonna talk about
like,
DK Metcalf in a minute.
He's like 1.8% body fat, but I don't know if that's really accurate. That doesn't mean
DK is so scary.
Yeah, he's scary. That doesn't mean 1.8% is accurate because like there's a plus and minus with those machines that they do, and the plus and minus is like 2 to 5%. So
got
if you're
the science major over here.
Yeah. So if you're saying somebody's 1.8% body fat, there's really a variation between 1.8 and 5%. You know what I mean? So you don't really know for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, that man is a physical specimen.
He's a physical specimen, but an O lineman, they want you to have a little more fat. You got to be out there. You got to be out there for a long time. You need good fat.
Yeah, you definitely do. Yeah,
so I think O linemen and the heavyweights of UFC, they definitely got their differences in what they want to train. Like they both probably train just as hard though.
That's probably true.
They're both. I mean,
linemen nowadays too, like Tyron Smith.
Think about how much money they make compared to the
10%.
UFC fighters. They think about how much money they have to invest in themselves.
That's true.
Campbell, the Campbell guy from Jaguars, he made
Calais?
Yeah, Calais Campbell. Yeah. He has the deepest voice ever. Oh my god, that guy is hilarious. He sounds like somebody. He ate somebody, and somebody's from the inside talking. You know what I mean? Trying to just squeak out of there, right?
Literally, there's like an echo within his like body. Like there's so much space in his body. There's an echo.
Yeah.
When he talks.
He made a YouTube video about how he invests $100,000 into his own body every year.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And he he influences other NFL players to do the same because
like J.J. Watt, dude.
Exactly, because a lot of those players. I mean, I feel so bad for a lot of those players. That's what happened to Allen Iverson. Like they don't get the financial training. They don't know what to do with their money. They're like you give. That's why people get John Jones gets a lot of heat. You know what I mean? Like he gets a lot of heat because he makes all these mistakes. But I mean, give a guy who's 21 millions of dollars, and I make mistakes.
Seriously.
So I make mistakes, and I don't have millions of dollars.
Anybody out there who says like, no, I would be very financially responsible, and I would. I mean, yes, I would invest my money, but you're 21 years old and you get paid millions of dollars. You're gonna do some stupid stuff.
You're gonna do some stupid things, like, and you're the thing is you're gonna do those stupid things, and everybody's gonna know about it. You know what I mean? I could do some stupid things, and it's only between me and my family. He it's for him. It's everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude,
and then it just becomes this thing. You know, it becomes this thing.
John Jones.
Yeah,
I love John Jones. We could talk about even the PED stuff with John Jones. Those what were those? What were those?
I think I'm gonna say something that is gonna it's gonna make people mad, but I have a pure belief, first of all, that if you're at that level of athleticism, everybody is doing some type of something to get themselves to the next level, right?
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That was
the old
Raiders
cheating,
motto.
you're not trying, first of all. Second of all, ain't nobody wants to see some average dudes going to fight each other, man. They want to see people juiced up, bro. You want to see people juiced up.
All these fans, let's be honest with ourselves. Like, if everyone was juicing and everyone, I feel like the issue is it's on a level playing field. But if everyone started juicing, that would be the greatest sporting event to ever watch, because everyone's just roided out of their minds.
The Olympics, we watched a documentary on the Russian Olympics. They were in Sochi, and how they had if you watch that, man, they were crazy, man. They had it down.
What was that documentary called?
I forgot what
Icarus.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But let's just say that all athletes sign a petition to all equally do the same performance enhancing drugs, and all of them are superhumans. Can you imagine what the NBA finals would be like if LeBron James was on steroids?
How do you know he's not on
KD's?
But my whole point is, how do you not know
180?
he's on steroids? People are
That's
really
true.
You don't know.
They are already.
Just because they have tests to say to test you to see if you're on steroids or not does not mean they don't have enough money to buy scientists to make sure they are clean for those tests.
Yeah, they're hey,
I mean?
Man, listen, all right, I got this fight coming up, and I'm kind of pudgy right now. Let's say you tell me how to take these steroids, and it's not in my system no more.
Exactly. So, I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. That's what I believe in.
Yeah, dude. Do you want to talk about? Yeah, do you want to talk about the Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier fight? Dustin Poirier from Lafayette, Louisiana.
Isn't that Max Holloway? He lost to him.
Yeah, it was their second fight. He got armbarred in the first fight. It was nasty in the first round. Dustin wrestled the crap out of him. Was going to choke him out. Max was already, gasping for air, didn't know where he was at, and Dustin put him in a nasty armbar and almost broke his arm. The first round was dominating too.
Yeah, but they said that Max Holloway was
that was when they were 21 or 20.
Well,
so they're totally different.
How many years that was later, but I think
it was 5.
I don't know. I loved that fight. I loved Dustin's. I loved everything he did in that fight.
He's a monster.
I loved that fight.
He's so strong for that 155 weight class. That's crazy.
I don't think Max Holloway was. I think from the first round he was stunned. He was not stunned oh look this guy he's really whipping my butt. But he was stunned he got punched hard and he was stunned. You know what I mean? Whoa,
dude.
This is not what I was expecting. You know what I mean?
Did you see his back? Dustin Poirier looked like he was 30 pounds weight heavier with his back. His back was huge, and Holloway moved up 10 pounds too because he's a featherweight. He was the champion for the featherweight division, and he looked so much smaller. He was like a little like a praying mantis, and then Dustin Poirier was this perfect V frame chiseled huge guy.
He looked healthy.
Yeah, he looked healthy.
And I think that's a big thing to look at how healthy do fighters look when they're at a weight class. You know what I mean? Because you put your body through all these. What if you train Like, what if you're in the like you're in your training camp and you get your best reps during training? You know what I mean? Because you're trying to cut. You know what I mean? Dude. You get your best reps during training, and then when you go out into the fight, you look like you've been sick with cancer.
Remember the TJ Dillashaw weigh-ins like a month ago when he fought Henry Cejudo, and he looked like he was a meth head, and then he just got busted for PEDs after like a week after that.
Yeah, he's a dirty fighter. I don't like
TJ Dillashaw.
He's a dirty fighter. I don't really like him that much, but whatever. He was a champion. Can't take that away
Yeah,
from
no
him.
more though. PED cheater. Looked like he was a meth head for that weigh-in. But yeah, that's what that back cut looks like. And he got knocked out so quick by Cejudo too in that fight.
I don't know. What do you think about Max Holloway's effort?
Yeah, Dongwei, what did you think about Max Holloway's effort? You don't know him?
Oh man, that fight was just crazy.
Oh no, Dongwei fell asleep for that fight. Yeah, never mind. Dongwei totally didn't watch that fight.
He didn't even watch that fight.
Yeah, he watched the Israel Adesanya fight.
Yes,
but
that was good though.
Yeah, but you saw the Khalil Rountree fight though too. The guy, he was speaking of that. Yeah, dude, we talked the guy that got his legs absolutely eaten up. Yeah. Khalil Rountree came out there with this new Muay Thai style. He's like,
he did a little training camp in Thailand.
You know, I was training with like the Buddhists up in the Misty Mountains with like the sacred like lessons, and I learned the ways of the Muay Thai. And he came out there.
When he came out there, his whole fighting style. I mean,
wait, how was he?
Nothing like I've ever seen.
It was completely a Muay Thai fighting stance.
His fighting stance before was like a normal, like he was like a little hunched over how he was, but in that fight, his like had this movements with his legs where it looked like he had like Tourette's with his leg. It was like spazzing, but he was using it to like keep his kicks guessing.
You can do that. They do that. They do that. They do Muay Thai fighting because, like in Muay Thai fighting, they worry about way more. They worry about the kicks. So they're standing more square to you, and they always are like they're moving their front leg up and down. You know, either scheming how to kick, and they don't. What Joe Rogan says is the best. Like people telegraph if they're gonna punch and telegraph if they're gonna kick. Right. The way he was fighting,
you couldn't telegraph.
There was no telegraphing. Yeah. Like he was just throwing. You know what I mean? And like he was so light on his feet, and like if you saw this man, he was Mr. Muscles. I mean that.
That guy's leg after the fight, it was like twice the size, and he had toe prints inside his legs that were purple. Oh my god, that fight, it was fun to watch just because I thought it was a little funny just watching this man get absolutely eaten up. Like his legs, that was like just one after another, and the slaps, it was like
it was big slaps.
Every time. And like, I don't know if anyone has taken a leg kick before, but it feels like you got shot in the leg, and that man took like 20 of them, if not more. No wait, it was 34 leg strikes. Yeah. Oh, poor man.
He kept coming, though.
Yeah, that was the thing I respected, too, because a lot of fighters could be, like, feel bad, you know, like, ooh,
throw in the white towel.
Yeah, but he just kept, foot on the throat, ready to, like, finish it, pound him in. And then he also used it really well, because his kicks, Eric Anders was so focused on his kicks that he would leave his head wide open because he'd be so worried about the kicks, and Khalil Rountree came in like 4 or 5 times with knocked him down with a solid like right hook. That was a really great fight. I want to see what Khalil Rountree's going to look like in the next couple fights coming up.
He's older though. He's 30, right? 31.
Yeah, I feel like he's got time though. He whips this whole new Muay Thai form strategy out. Like I think he could tear it up. He was already pretty decent before. I think his fighting record was like 11-3.
What do you think the age is? Like your prime age in UFC?
I mean, I don't know, dude, because you see guys in Bellator, like Chuck Liddell's like 70 years old and he's still fighting in Bellator.
I mean, but I'm saying in UFC, Bellator is different. UFC is the top percent, you know?
I don't know. That's a good question. If you're really if this new style proves to be like revolutionary and like no one can touch Khalil.
It's not new style though.
No, I mean, like if people can't game plan for it.
The thing about the Muay Thai style is there's always something that you're giving up. Like if you're gonna fight someone square, then they're gonna be able to punch you in the face. If you're the thing what boxers do and what Money Mayweather does is that he has his shoulders to the side and he always got his shoulders in front of his jaw. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he's always covering his face, but he doesn't have to worry about kicks because he's a boxer, right?
Yeah.
So there's always like if you're gonna fight Muay Thai, then you can be opened up to taking hits to the head. But the reason is, I mean, most Muay Thai fighters, I'm not trying to bash any of them, they don't really care that much about boxing compared to the kicks. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that was his whole fighting style. So everything everything. The thing that's
but
the cool thing
those
about
punches like in coordination with his kicks really, really well.
Oh, he did. He did for sure. But what I'm saying is maybe next time he has a fight, they know that he's going to do the Muay Thai thing, right? So the person that's fighting him, there's always
they're going to have a strategy for it this time. Because,
exactly.
now this fight came out and he had no idea that he was going to whip something out.
Exactly. So there's a yin-yang to fighting. Like, if you're going to do this, then I can do this. If you're going to do that, I can do that. That's the cool thing about fighting and how they can have so many different types of matchups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going back to the age thing, like, I think because there's guys like Yoel Romero who are 41 years old, but, like, they can last that long because they're so good. If Khalil Rountree can get to that level, then he could last till he's like 41. But if people are going to figure out his style and stuff like that, he'd probably only last like 2 more years maybe. Like 30, if that.
I just don't know how long I would want to be fighting.
Yeah.
How many...
He's only got 15 fights. I see guys with way deeper.
You get 15 fights, yeah, obviously. But then you got to think about how much, all the sparring and all that stuff, all the hits to the head. It's not just the fights. It's like you're getting old and you're taking all those hits to the head. How much CTE
he's probably
do you
been
want?
fighting
You know
for
what I mean?
a really long time, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's probably been fighting since he was 15. I don't know exactly how long he's been fighting, but he's been probably been eating up those shots to the head all his life.
What do you think is safer? You think NFL is safer or UFC is safer?
Yeah,
The only reason I say it is because, I mean, obviously you may think NFL is safer, but you got to understand from like a really, really young age, like if you're doing like football with pads, like you played football, like you got a bunch of kids who are running around with 20 pounds of pads on as fast as they can. And they're trying to brutally kill and like brutally like collide.
Yeah, dude, I got knocked out in high school my senior year. I got like taken out by an ambulance, going to the hospital, neck brace. Like I had like a severe concussion and a sprained neck.
In the fight, you can take a gnarly, roundhouse kick to the jawline. You're gonna get knocked out. But at the end of the day, like it was intended to do that. Like you're like you got a strong chin. Like that's what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Like in NFL, like there's.
Do they get concussions every time they get knocked out?
I don't think so.
Because you can get hit in the chin and not get a concussion.
No,
right?
I don't think so. That was my point. Like being like people may think NFL is safer than the UFC, but. I don't know. I think depending if you're a quarterback in the NFL, of course. But after that, I think everybody just gets battered.
I think because honestly, I think that football is more dangerous.
I think football is more dangerous too. 100%. Just because of the pads and the full speed.
Yeah, dude. Because in like UFC and fighting, I feel like it's a constant beating and it's hard and it's rough. But you're not getting these, like, total damaging, like, structural damage as much in the football. Like, guys in football will also, like, tear their entire knees, ACL, MCL, everything, I feel like, way more often than a UFC guy. Yeah. Like, I'll see a UFC guy, that'll happen, like, once or twice a year with a couple, like, top-name fighters. But in the NFL, like, I feel like there's dudes, especially, like, offensive linemen, when they're falling on their knees in the piles.
Look at all that weight that's going on. I think it's super, super dangerous.
Like, I feel like football is just way more dangerous, like structurally, like to like the internal.
I mean, they say it when you get to the NFL. The NFL players, they tell the young players like this is it doesn't say National Football League. That's not what it stands for. It stands for not for long.
Not for long, yeah, dude. I heard that in third grade for sure.
That's not for long. And usually
you gotta have a second plan.
The average NFL player is only 3 years. I think maybe it's dude. Only 3 years.
Because you about to get knocked out.
Imagine they do everything in their life to become something, and they can only do it for 3 years. That's the average. That's like the plain average. I mean,
and then like the average salary too is only like $600,000.
Oh, they're severely
so it's like
underpaid.
All these dudes are like working their whole lives to like only get paid $600,000 for 3 years, and that's their entire like life aspirations.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Dude,
that's why that comes back to. I feel like these sports associations need to do a better job with teaching these young players what to do with their money, because if not, they're screwed.
The financial. The NFL I knew was like putting or the NFL teams specifically were having financial like meetings for their rookies. Like when they'd come in, like I was watching the Cleveland Browns like Hard Knocks, and they had financial meetings, like all their rookies and like for the whole like rookie year. And I think they would be like other guys, like if they wanted financial consulting, like they could come into the meetings as well.
Yeah.
So
I think it's that really needs to be the thing. Yeah, Allen Iverson's like a big example of him. Like he he had everything, and then he just
Dude,
completely didn't have everything.
Isn't he getting like a $20 million?
Yeah, from Nike. He is getting I don't know what it is. I think it is Nike. Like when he's reached a certain age, he was able to get all this $20 million or whatever from Nike. But before that man was bankrupt. He did not have any money, and it's just a pure example. I mean, obviously it's his fault, but everything's your own fault. But I just think we can do a better job at like educating. Like if you're gonna go out there and you're gonna look at this guy like, and you're gonna like see these people out there and you're gonna make money off these people, like there's some type of and you're gonna call them specimens, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like refer to them as these freaks of nature, like
He's
and like
almost superhuman
freaks of nature. It's like you guys should
Marvel.
like put care into like making them stay that way, you know?
Yeah, sure. All right, we only have a minute left for this episode, so any last remarks for this episode? Any comments on the fights or anything you want to say?
I started out with saying that it was the best card I've seen.
Yeah, dude, I was so...
I'd say it is. And then actually it's the second best because I like the GSP, Amanda Nunes, and whatever it was like.
How long ago was that?
It was like a year ago,
Oh.
and all the challengers won, and that's what I like.
Okay.
I like to see the challengers win. That's, you know what I mean. But I did want to see Gasly win, just because everybody's on the Adesanya Stylebender hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were all watching it in our house, and there was like 20 or 12 people there, and 11 out of 12 people were like, Adesanya. Yeah. Everyone was like so focused, and then there's my man Dilan in the corner going, "Hey man, Kevin Gasly, let's go,
baby!
I want that Mexican guy to win. Let's
exactly. You know what I mean? It's hot. You got to go for the underdog.
Yeah,
you know?
dude. And on that note, we'll end this episode 3 of Wavelengths. I'm your host, Ian Luper. Sign off, Dilan and Whei.
My name is Dylan Patel. Thank you very much for having me, Ian.
Yeah, man. Of course. Whei.
Peace.
Peace.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.